here with Guns N' Roses, or at least two of the members. I'd like to introduce to you Slash, the lead guitarist, and Duff McKagan.
Yeah.
Did I get it right?
That's
all right, the bass
perfect.
player.
See, that's the problem with having a last name.
Welcome to Florida there, guys. How long have you been on tour with the crew?
So, I don't know.
Probably 3 weeks.
So just getting off the ground. Let me ask you, it's very interesting. You hail from Seattle, Indiana, Stoke-on-Trent, England, and the heart of Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's awful long distances. How did you form? How did you get together?
Ironically, there was no set pattern or nothing. We just all of a sudden just met in Los Angeles somehow.
We're at Bar and Grill?
Hollywood.
Yeah?
Yeah, different places. I met Axl and Izzy. I already knew Steve, and then Duff came out from Seattle and answered the ad in the paper for a bass player.
How long have you guys been together?
2.5 years.
Almost 3 years.
So this is not an overnight success. This is a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Comparatively, though, I mean, some bands have been together a lot longer.
When did you get your first big break that led to a record deal?
We fell out of the blast.
How that happened? We weren't even trying to get a record deal. It wasn't even in our minds at all, and we were just, and we got to the point where we were headlining gigs at local clubs, and like out of the blue, record companies were coming to our shows, you know. First was one, and it was, you know.
We got like 7 major label offers, and the only reason we got such a good deal is because since we weren't looking for a record deal, we weren't like conforming, you know, to any record company standards at all. We were like, well, if you're going to sign us, you know, because we can just play clubs forever.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to sign us, then we want this and we want that.
I gathered from the bio that you were very protective of your music, and that's
Yeah.
your way or no way at all.
Our whole trip was, we were just, you know, we didn't want to do anything that we didn't want to do.
That's very rare. Do you feel you're breaking some ground doing that? I mean, a lot of artists have to wait till they get a certain sellability before they can say, hey, you know, we're going to do it my way.
Yeah, I don't...
At the time, actually, it was kind of unheard of, you know. Especially for a bunch of guys who were as young as us.
Yeah,
you know?
because what it is like, it's such a big industry now that, I mean, bands already are trying to mold themselves into, you know, to be sellable before even the record companies are trying to tell them. You know, they're already viable products before the, you know, the record company makes them do things that would make them more commercial, you know what I mean? So we were just completely different. Our whole approach was completely different. I think it threw everybody off guard.
Do you consider yourselves to be a heavy metal band? There's so many different labels. Does it kind of make you sick, all the different labels?
Yeah, we don't, like I said, we
There's
don't
the glam rock, the thrash metal.
It's a real cliche to even say now, because every heavy metal band, every glam band says they're just a rock and roll band. So at this point, if I say, no, we're just a rock and roll band, we sound like everybody else.
Just straight ahead kick butt.
Make whatever, you know, whatever impression you get, you know.
Because I've listened to the album, and it is straight ahead, right down your throat, rock and roll. Yeah. No bones about. I think the slowest thing, if you could call it, Sweet Child of Mine.
We can't get it down anybody's throats any other way, so we do.
Who does most of the writing in the group?
All of us. Yeah, we write as a whole. That way, the band's more, you know. Someone comes up with a basic melody or a riff or whatever, and then, you know, instead of writing a whole song and bringing it to the band, what we do is just go, I have this, what do you hear? And you know, and then we all write it together, and that way everybody enjoys doing it and all that.
I think if we had you all in one room and I was to ask the question that Slash wanted me to ask, what are your musical influences? Who could you say would be your basic, from a kid up to now?
You know, right off the bat, you know.
You asked the 2 questions we asked you not to ask.
But the kids out there would want to know. There's a lot of kids that watch the rock and roll shows.
There's the basic AC/DC, Zeppelin, Aerosmith, you know, I mean, our generation, you know, there's those basic influences there, and then there's a lot of other stuff that's just, we pick up on anything that's good.
I noticed in Welcome to the Jungle, there's a few little places in there that's a la Robert Plant almost. Really refreshing to hear, you know, because...
See, it just goes to show that people have their own opinions.
There's 5 of us, so there really can't be one musical influence. Yeah. I mean, we all grew up at the same time, and basically listen to the same kind of music. So, you know, and that music was Zeppelin, Aerosmith, you know, type music.
Cheap Trick, early Cheap Trick stuff.
How is your album Appetite for Destruction faring across the country?
Great. We're doing really
Because I know here they eat it up. They love it. The album, we do giveaways that they're going like crazy. The video is well requested.
We've been really lucky, you know, because the album's been selling, and this is our first, you know, major tour, and it's only been a month long. I mean, it's only a month-long tour, and we've sold, you know, a lot of records, and we've got, you know, I mean, sold out gigs. Every single one that we've done has been packed by the time we went on, which is, for me, unheard of for an opening band. It's usually half a house before.
What was it like for you guys being a young band? For crew to say, come on with us?
Great.
Yeah.
They've been really cool, real supportive. They've been giving us a lot of leeway, giving us like almost an hour on stage, which is another thing that is pretty much unheard of. You know, we can pretty much do whatever we want, and you know, we hang out with them a lot, and it's just, you know, it's been really great.
Nice guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool guys.
Lots of fun?
All of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me ask you one question about the album and the lyrics. What do you think about all that's going on right now? All this brouhaha with lyrics, rock and roll, Tipper Gore going, you know, satanic, drugs, sex, rock and
It
roll.
really doesn't affect us. I mean, we've had no PMRC problems. But, I mean, the funny thing about all that is, you know, if PMRC makes a big deal about your record, it just sells more copies of your record.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger the sticker, the more album sales.
You know, and it's not doing anything. You know, they're not stopping any sales of albums or stopping really any albums from coming out, you know, that I've heard of.
For any adults that might be looking over a kid's shoulder that's going to be watching the interview today, what would you like to, what would you say your music represents? What would you like it to represent? Very honestly, as musicians.
Just teenage. I mean, because that's where we're from. That's just, you know, we're basically from the old school as far as rock and roll goes, and it's just like, you know, what we represent is teenage, what, sort of rebellion.
It's just, yeah, it's just real life growing up. You know, all the story, all the songs are true stories.
Yeah, there's like a punk rocker in every 15-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what we're all about, and that's how we grew up. And so we don't pick any bones about saying that, and we don't try and influence anybody about it, but we just do what we do, and if you pick up on it, you know, all more power to you. So.
What's going to be the next single off the album? Any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm not going to say at this point, because I think it should be different than what it's going to be, so.
I'll get a little controversy there.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Yeah. We're going to have more videos? Can we expect more videos we can see of you guys?
I think so.
I think so.
All right,
I think so.
kid. Well, I'll tell you one thing. The kids of all ages in this area, they love the video. And you know, straight ahead rock and roll, which I'm glad to see. No frills, just straight down your throat.
Cool.
And show tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be killer.
Yeah, sold out
It's
show.
sold out. Whenever anybody says it's sold out, then the first thing is like, all right.
And I'll tell you what, Lakeland can rock and roll.
That's what I've been
That's
told.
what you're
Lakeland can rock and roll. You won't be disappointed.
Last night, you know.
You got a free dinner.
Yeah.
More than I can say for the one.
Well, we wish you continued success, and we thank you so much for taking the time, and break a leg tonight. Now dead, kick
No, don't
butt.
say that.
No, really, that's serious. Thank you, Duff. And Slash.
Thanks.
All right, take care. For V32, Guns N' Roses. Good show tonight, Motley Crue. See you there.